You are listening to Chapter 1 Lesson 5 of Form 3 African History. Cameroon General Education. Narrated by Wacheseh Academy. The role played by main European powers in the scramble for Africa. 1. Germany. Bismarck, the German Chancellor, abandoned his anti-colonial policy and entered the colonial race, which led to clashes with other European powers, especially Britain and France. In West Africa, with the help of German traders, a German protectorate was declared over Togoland, checking British expansion from the Gold Coast. Another protectorate was declared over Cameroon in 1884, which was considered a coup by the British. In East Africa, a German protectorate was established over Tanganyika, checking British expansion from Kenya and Uganda. Karl Peter struggled to secure Buganda by persuading the king to abandon. The problem was peacefully solved by the Germans accepting British claims over Buganda, and in exchange gained Heligoland. In Southeast Africa, the Germans secured a protectorate over southern West Africa and limited British influence in southern Africa. In the Congo Basin, the Germans supported the French claims over the mouth of the River Congo, strongly contested by Porto but supported by Britain. In North Africa, German interest in Morocco clashed with France in the Tangier Incident of 1905 and the Agadir Crisis of 1911 and almost led to war. However, German claims in Morocco were only abandoned after 1911 when the French gave them part of French Equatorial Africa as compensation. Germany was strongly behind the summoning of the Berlin Conference in 1884, which approved the scramble of Africa. Italy. In North Africa, Italy invested heavily in Tunisia and wanted to secure Tunisia. This provoked the French to rush to invade Tunisia in 1881 and establish a protectorate there in 1883 after the signing of the All-Marche Convention. Italy rushed to occupy Libya in 1911 to compensate for the loss and to check the French expansionism of Libya. Italy rushed to the Horn of Africa to check British and French expansion, leading to the Italian occupation of Eritrea and part of Somaliland. Attempt to gain control of Abyssinia ended in a fiasco, as the Italians were beaten in the Battle of Adowa in 1896, but rushed to annex later in 1936. 2. France. In North Africa, France conquered Algeria and used it as a springboard to prevent Italians from gaining control over Tunisia. France's protectorate was established in Tunisia in 1883. The British occupation of Egypt made France rush to create a large empire linking Senegal in the west, Somaliland in the east, Tunisia, and Algeria in the north, also rushed to Sudan and Central Africa, hoping to divert the Nile and punish the British in Egypt. France and Britain clashed over Sudan at Fashota, but the French withdrew. France further rushed to gain control in Morocco, leading to clashes with Germany in the Tangier Incident of 1905, and the Agadir Crisis of 1911, almost leading to a war. France and British clashes in the Delta, the heartland of the palm oil trade. George Goldie created the British United African Company to undersell the French company in the Niger Delta. This caused the French to redraw and scrambled for other territories in West Africa. The French crushed the Toucouleur Empire and defeated Samori Touré of the Mandinka Empire. Britain. In North Africa, Britain annexed Egypt in 1882, which forced France to secure territories like Senegal, Somaliland, Tunisia, Algeria, and the rush to Sudan and Central Africa, hoping to encircle the British and divert the Nile and frustrate her in desertic Egypt. British protectorate over Egypt influenced Bismarck to abandon his anti-colonial policy and enter the race to gain colonies to check British economic and military power. The British Royal Niger Company caused the French company to park out of the Niger Delta, rich in palm oil trade. The British control over the Gold Coast, Sierra Leone, Gambia, brought the Germans to rush to secure Togoland and Cameroon in West Africa to check the balance of power. The British East Africa Company established control over Kenya and Uganda. The British control over Rhodesia, Bechuanaland, pushed the Germans to rush to occupy Southwest Africa. During the rivalry over the Congo Basin, Britain supported Portugal's claims over the mouth of the River Congo. How European powers avoided war during the scramble. Accepted to take part in the Berlin Conference. Agreed to notify other powers before claiming a territory. Agreed to have effective occupation before claiming territories. Agreed not to form alliances with Africans against other Europeans. Agreed in the Brussels Conference of 1890 not to export sophisticated weapons to Africans. Carried out bilateral negotiations on territorial issues affecting them. Worked in commissions to define the sphere of influence.